This is Ubuntu Radio.
A better South Africa, a better Africa, and a better world.
Cyprus and South Africa share long-standing friendly relations rooted in common values such as respect for international law, support for multilateralism, and a commitment to peaceful cooperation amongst the nations. Cyprus occupies a unique position at the crossroads of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, making it the important partner in increasingly interconnected world. Today we are joined in studio by His Excellency Antonis Mandritis, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Cyprus in South Africa. We welcome you to Ubuntu Radio.
Good morning, Dumela, Sawubona.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. And of course, this is a demonstration that South Africa and Cyprus enjoy warm relations. Since the last time we spoke, would you like to take us through the current state of relations? Because, you know, a relationship doesn't stay stagnant. It has to be continuously improving as we go. Would you like to talk us through
Absolutely.
that?
But, good relations are deep-rooted. So I'm afraid, if you allow me, to start mentioning some historic events.
Please.
How this relationship was forged. So, our relation started even before 94, before the creation of the new, modern, independent, democratic South Africa. We are two Commonwealth countries, which means, in a way, two former British colonies. We got our independence in 1960 in Cyprus. We fought against the British for almost 5 years. So after the creation of the establishment of the Republic of Cyprus, Cyprus became member also, I'm sure you know, the non-aligned movement, because South Africa is also member of the non-aligned movement. So our first president, the founding father of the Republic of Cyprus, Archbishop Makarios, allow me to say, was one of the greatest leaders of that time, especially within the non-aligned movement, along with Indira Gandhi of India, Tito of ex-Yugoslavia, Nasser of Egypt, Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, and also, if you can help me with the first president of Tanzania, I forget his name, quite famous leader in Africa. I forgot his name, but they were some of the great leaders of the non-aligned movement. So since that time, we were advocating the decolonization of Sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia. And of course, we were fighting against apartheid in South Africa. Also, one of our historic leaders, the founding father and first president of the Socialist Party of Cyprus, Dr. Vassoulis, the late Vassoulis Lissaridis, became vice president of AAPSO, AAPSO, who was an organization for Africa, for solidarity movement for Sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia, advocating for, many Sub-Saharan African countries gained their independence from 61 to 63. Some others, like Mauritius, a bit later, or Malawi 64, like this. But the problem was Southern Africa, because we still have the Portuguese colonies like Angola and Mozambique, Zimbabwe, that was called former Rhodesia. So Vassoulis Lissaridis became very, very close friend with some other historic leaders of the region, like Samora Machel, Agustin Neto, and Sam Namjoba, of the first president of Namibia. So that's why we forged strong relations since that time, which is very, very important, especially to remind the youngsters, not because we are very old anyway, as you see, but we love it. We read and we love history. It's quite important. But nowadays, yes, of course, we never established relations with South Africa in 1960 onwards. We established relations after the creation of the new democratic South Africa. At the beginning, we used to have general consulate in Johannesburg. Since 1999, we have an embassy, or rather high commission, because we are members, both countries, of the Commonwealth. And it was our second embassy in Sub-Saharan Africa, because even nowadays we have high commission in Nairobi and Pretoria, only two embassies, diplomatic missions in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Wow.
Hopefully in the future we're going to have some more, and we're going to have it's quite good, because I was advocating, it was my suggestion, because before coming to South Africa I was head of the African department, and I thought it would be nice for Cyprus to enhance even further its relations with African Union. So we're going to have an embassy also in Addis Ababa. For Addis Ababa, but also because it's the headquarters of the African Union.
Yes. So currently, what are the key areas of collaboration between the two countries?
Yeah. Mainly in the political and diplomatic field. But please allow me to, as I said at the beginning of my intervention, that we are also members of the European Union. And the European Union and South Africa have a strategic relation. It's the only country in the African continent that we have strategic relation as European Union. And you remember this year, at the beginning of this year, many events took place. We have the dialogue between European Union and African Union in Angola, end of November last year, and also we also had the visit of Mr. Costa and Ursula von der Leyen here in Cape Town for the dialogue between South Africa and the European Union, where they met with the President Ramaphosa, signing the MOU for raw critical minerals, and many other ways to enhance the relations between European Union and South Africa. So we have to see our relations through the prisma also EU South Africa, EU SADC, Southern African Development Community, and also through EU African Union. Now, specifically about Cyprus, we have economic, commercial relations. Exact numbers, maybe you have the numbers, or as one of my colleagues said, you can just press a button and you can find everything there. Maybe I'm not so good with numbers sometimes, but it seems we import more than we export to South Africa, mainly, pharmaceuticals, agricultural products, and some others. But mainly, we have a very, very good relation in political and diplomatic relations, because, as you said at the beginning, we both advocating multilateralism. I don't know, maybe it will be part of your next question, because many people are asking me, nowadays with so many problems all around the world, what is the solution? Do you have a solution? Yes, I said. And sometimes I think it's quite simple, and I think both countries advocating the implementation without discrimination, no double standards, the implementation of the Charter of the United Nations and the international law. And of course we support the democratization of international relations, And always we do believe that regarding the bilateral relations, they have to be win-win situation, and always dialogue between equals is very, very important, not only for the bilateral relations.
Are there any priorities that the High Commission has identified that will assist in advancing bilateral relations and political relations between South Africa and Cyprus?
Yes, of course. As I told you, now we have the presidency of the European Union. And of course, we do think that it's very, very important, the relation between Europe and Africa, especially since we are here with the region, of the SADC region, and of course with South Africa. Not because I don't want to make any discrimination between South Africa and other countries, because when you see in my name card, I cover 11 countries. I mean, it's Mauritius, Madagascar, Lesotho, Swatini, South Africa, Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Malawi, and Mozambique. Okay? And we cover all these countries from Pretoria, from here, South Africa. So we are advancing and we are pushing for many initiatives, projects in many areas, in many fields. Now, specifically about Cyprus, we have a memorandum of understanding, if I'm not mistaken, was signed in 2012 regarding political consultation, and I'm trying quite hard with my colleagues in DIRCO to promote and activate this MOU, and of course mutual visits between the two countries at the highest possible level. We also have some agreements, including the agreement, the avoidance of double taxation and fiscal evasion, and it seems that experts from the two countries soon they're going to have some consultations regarding this agreement. And of course, I'm trying to do my very best here locally to make Cyprus more visible. Even before coming here, when I was, as I told you, director of African Department, we offer some bursaries, scholarships to various countries in the region, including South Africa. Also recently, quite recently, with the Cyprus Institute, they offer some quite advanced scholarships for experts in South Africa. And of course, I know that also you are ambassador, High Commissioner it's ambassador in Athens, but for Cyprus it's High Commissioner covering Cyprus from Athens. She's a lovely lady. Also with her predecessor, Mrs. Zulu, I used to have very good relations, is visiting frequently Cyprus in order to promote them bilateral relations, and I would like to also publicly to thank both of them. You are current ambassador in Athens and her predecessor. We also have agreements, MOU regarding the field of education, and a MOU between the State University of Cyprus and some universities in South Africa, like Tagis, Pretoria University. And there is also a cooperation with UCT, and I went quite recently, last year, but also this March, and I saw the Vice Chancellor of UCT in order to see some ways how to promote the relations in the educational field.
Economic relations are a very important pillar in international relations. How would you describe the current trade relations between the two countries?
Well, there is always some space. Okay, there is always room to improve. As you know, Cyprus, our population is like Mauritius. It's 1 million population. Obviously, we don't have the economic and commercial relations that South Africa has with the United Kingdom or Germany or France. As I told you, we import more than we export to South Africa. But also, in a way, it has to do maybe with economic relations. We are trying to promote even further tourist in the field of tourism, the relations between the two countries in the field of tourism. We have many South Africans are visiting Cyprus because, you know, now the weather is not the same. Here we have winter, in Cyprus we have summer. So a lot of people are going, especially this period, to enjoy Cyprus summer. But I think you're going to ask me something more about tourism later on.
Of course, yes.
But we also have, not only during South African summer, but all around here, we have many Cypriots coming and visiting the country because, and maybe I will mention this later on, we have many South Africans living in Cyprus, but also many Cypriots, or if you allow me, South African Cypriot origin living in South Africa. So many people are coming here to visit their friends, relatives, but also many people, since they love hunting, the landscape of South Africa. As I told you, they come all around here. But if I'm not mistaken, winter is the best time to go for hunting here in South Africa.
Yeah. So Cyprus, High Commissioner, is sitting at a very unique geographical and strategic position, linking Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. How has that affected the way Cyprus formulate its foreign policy priorities?
Yeah. Yes, as you said, right, between Europe, Asia, and Africa. Once, when I was in Mexico, and we had elections from the consular corps, I was deputy head of mission and consul at that time in our embassy in Mexico. They said we would like to have representatives in the board, I mean from all the continents. So we had from Americas, Asia, Europe, etc. But they said, but someone from Africa? Well, I said, yes, I'm here. Well, since we are very close to Africa, you can consider Cyprus as, as an extension of Africa, yes. Yes, this is very, very important, but at the same time, it becomes geopolitically like a curse, because if you are between three continents, if you see the history of Cyprus since the ancient years, we have many conquerors, etc., related precisely, because of our position. We are the southeast border of European Union, especially in the region of Middle East. I'm sure you know very well what's going on in Middle East. Okay. Not only nowadays, but for many years now, for many decades, not only now. It is very, very important. And the question is, how can you translate this position? How can you transmit in order, first of all, to avoid conflicts and problems, and secondly, how you will bring the countries of the region close. It is very, very important. For example, we have good relations, except one, of course, since 1974, Cyprus was invaded by Turkey, and still today the northern part of Cyprus is occupied. We have good relations with all the countries of the region. We have signed also agreements, for example, with Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, etc., regarding our exclusive economic zone, because it is well known that there is gas in the region. And we do believe that this is for the benefit of the people of the region. The prosperity, then development is not just for one country, but bring people together to have a better future. So we're advocating peace and cooperation in Middle East. And of course with Egypt, historically, even before the creation of modern Cyprus, of modern Egypt, our people are very close. We have historic relations. And before Egypt became part of the Roman Empire, it was the dynasty of the Ptolemy. The last one was the famous Cleopatra. At this time, Cyprus was like a province of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt. So we are trying everything, and also politically, historically, religiously, to bring the people together in order to avoid the conflicts and always to find peaceful solutions in the problem of the region. And of course, with all these countries of the region, except one, of course, we have, unfortunately, well, it's not our fault, we have, and we are improving our relations in many fields.
When it comes to the African continent, what opportunities do you see of collaboration, especially in areas such as maritime security, renewable energy, and digital transformation?
Okay. Allow me to say something, because sometimes it's quite difficult to remember everything. That in the region, you know what's going on also in Gaza. We've been trying to help creating a humanitarian corridor from Cyprus, along with some other countries all around the world, to create a humanitarian corridor to provide the Gazans, the people of Gaza, with humanitarian aid from the Larnaca harbor, going directly to Gaza in order to help the people. It's one amongst other initiatives in order to help, not only, as I told you, to bring the governments together, but also to help the people. This is the most important, people-to-people relations, and how, in real terms, to help the people. Now, about you said maritime.
Maritime, renewable energy,
yes,
digital
as I told you,
transformation.
I mentioned earlier the meeting between the Maritime Vice Minister of Cyprus with the Premier of Eastern Cape. In Cyprus, according to the constitution, we have 10 ministries, not vice ministries. But recently, we have created also vice ministries, like Vice Ministry of Culture, Vice Ministry, Maritime Vice Ministry. So we're an island, so it's quite important for us, the sea and the maritime and many other aspects like blue economy. So like Cyprus, in the context of the European Union, we took many initiatives, but also, and it has to do with South Africa as well, within the context of Commonwealth. We have, I don't remember very well, I think it was quite recently a charter, the White Charter regarding the maritime of the Commonwealth countries. It was a conference that took place in Cyprus about this, about maritime, ocean safety, blue economy, and so many relevant aspects. So we are also very active in the IMO, International Maritime Organization. South Africa is active as well, as far as I know. So we support some initiatives in global international level. But this is, from the Commonwealth, is very, very important. And we have a maritime center in Larnaca. Is a place where I live after 1974, because I come from the northern part of Cyprus, but after the invasion, unfortunately, with my parents, we went forcibly to the south. So I live in Larnaca, and we have a maritime center there where they take initiatives. They have flagship initiatives, projects, and we try to cooperate with many, many countries. Also, though Cyprus, according to the UN criteria, cannot be member of the SIDS, SIDS, Small Island Development States, we coordinate and we have cooperation with small island development states in order to promote together initiatives regarding the maritime security, port security, and many aspects of maritime, including blue economy.
You mentioned earlier on that you are part of the European Union, and I do understand that as a country, when you are here, part of your responsibilities would be to help in improving the relations between Africa and the European Union. Mm-hmm. Please talk to us about some of the activities that you are doing to help those relationships to grow.
Many things going on, especially, I told you, it's under the context of the European Union. All this, we participate as member states. And, it's very easy. If you go, as I told you, to press a button, EU South Africa, you can find so many things, and we help South Africa. By the way, I would like to congratulate the country, because you had the G20 summit last November, which was very successful. All this, many international initiatives, organizations are moving in parallel. So, like European Union, of course, apart from the diplomatic political relations, like multilateralism, respect to international law, Charter of the United Nations, we try to help, or if you allow me, to cooperate in some other fields like green energy, renewable energy, and like Cyprus, because you asked me earlier, and I think it's related also, because it's the same, like European Union, we're trying to do the same, because in Cyprus we are experiencing natural disasters. Sometimes we have water scarcity, okay? And also related with the sea, how we can use sea, because as you see in Cyprus we have desalination. We have dams in order to use the best possible way the water, but we also try to use the ocean and the Mediterranean Sea actually. So for natural disasters, fires, and all these things, we try to cooperate with many African countries as well, like Cyprus, but as European Union as well, because environment is very, very important. We have this cooperation for renewable energy, to avoid the use of fossil fuels, and especially in green energy.
South Africa plays a very important role in the African continent, with us now being the chairperson of the Peace and Security Council in the African Union. And we also play a very important role in the global community. How does Cyprus view South Africa's contribution in the multilateral forum?
Thank you very much for the question. When we ask me about the relations, we have, I forgot to say that we have a very good record regarding candidatures and mutual support for many regarding many candidatures, and we are looking forward to carry on and keep this, allow me to say, tradition. Now, it is well known that South Africa is one of the most important countries in local, regional level, but also in continent, in the South Hemisphere as well. And we notice that South Africa is advocating the democratization of international relations, because South Africa, and I mean the people of South Africa, has been benefited from the international law. As I told you, it's very, very important to implement international law with no double standards and no discrimination. I remember what Desmond Tutu said many years ago: if there is injustice close or next to you and you don't deal with it because supposedly it does not affect you, it means that you also commit injustice. So this is extremely important. Either it's Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe, anywhere. If there is injustice, we have to care as if it was our problem. Because now it's your turn, then maybe it will be my turn. So that's why it's very important with South Africa, as you mentioned earlier, to keep this momentum. The principles that we share, we are very satisfied, because South Africa also, regarding the Cyprus issue, has a very principled stand, and expressing, having expressed many times their support to the international law and the implementation of the relevant UN resolution regarding the Cyprus problem.
In your own view, what reforms and innovations are necessary to strengthen international cooperation and global governance?
Well, you cannot see this issue only under the current prism. So that it's very important to study history and see what's going on. We have 2 world wars. The question is, the humanity is getting better. We took our lessons from these 2 devastating wars. After the First World War, we have the League of Nations. That was not successful and indeed collapsed. I think the founders, the member states that were founders, members of the United Nations after the end of the Second War, realized, and they tried to give some more power to the international community. Saying this, I mean the United Nations, to have not a power, maybe this is not the right word, but the ability to solve international problems. And when I say international problems, I don't mean, it's not only the wars, either between 2 countries or conflicts in regional level, but they have still today, the question is, do we have the mechanism to implement the principles deriving from the United Nations? This is a big question. And not only this, you know that apart from that, especially today, we are facing many other problems. Food insecurity, environment, terrorism, the rights of children, the rights of women. Someone has to advocate this. And again, back to your question, in regional and international level, we've took many, as I told you, initiative, and we're pushing and advancing in many ways in order to find solutions in these problems, either like Cyprus in international fora, but also in the European Union, especially during our presidency. We have pandemics like COVID. You know, today there is no one country having the solution or the solutions for the international problems. If children are starving, I will not mention now. You know, there are in many countries, children are starving. This is also our problem. And the international community has to respond effectively and permanently, not occasionally.
Indeed, we need solutions to that. The Eastern Mediterranean has become increasingly important in global politics. How would you describe the strategic significance of this region?
Well, as you know, yes, it's strategically very important, and we know very well what's going on today in the broader region. I think, if you allow me, because politics and even diplomacy sometimes is very cynical, to respond with music, if you allow me. I'm sure you know the Beatles and the famous song, "All We Are Saying to Give Peace a Chance." It is very important to give peace a chance. It is very important. You know, at the end of the day, who pays the price? The people. The people. It's a shame, you know. We have to give peace a chance. It is very important to advocate peaceful solutions. War never, ever gave solutions to international problems, especially relating the relations between sovereign states. So, because since Cyprus is also victim of the violation of international law and will still suffer, and as I told you, I am displaced. My family and me, we are displaced persons. We do advocate. Another issue, it's a human rights field. It's very important. Very important. And also, as I told you, the women of rights, the women of children, of the elders, of the, how do you say exactly, the people have problem, we have people in wheelchair, how do you call this kind of category, of these persons that they have problems, various problems, they cannot move, they cannot walk.
Paraplegic.
I mean, it's very important to see each and every group and advocate the rights of these persons, okay? Because the motto of our presidency, it's an autonomous European Union, and a European Union of values open to the world. So, not as I told you, dialogue, which is a dialogue comes from our language. It's called dialogos. It means conversation between two people, or even more.
Yeah.
But definitely not monologue, not just one person. So it's very important always to hear your interlocutor. Okay? We are not only advocating, but we are ready to listen the other people, and together we try to find a solution. Either it seems to be minor or major problem.
Cultural diplomacy often creates enduring connections between nations. How important is cultural exchange in strengthening relations between South Africa and Cyprus?
Yes. Also in this field we have to work hard. The two sides. I know it's a distance, you know. Maybe it's quite difficult as I told you, we have a group coming next week in South Africa, and they're gonna perform. And for this reason, if you allow me, it is also written. I would like to extend an invitation to you and your colleague. We have a performance at Atterbury Theatre this Thursday. It starts 7 o'clock, but we have also a reception from 6 o'clock until 7 o'clock, and then I'm going to have a small speech in order to present the results of the Cyprus presidency of the European Union, and I repeat that you, along with your colleagues, you are most welcome. I will be glad to see you all. So culturally, from time, as I told you, we have this one in the field of education. I mentioned earlier about this. But from time to time, I realize there are some artists or groups going from South Africa to Cyprus, or anyway, they had a kind of cooperation. But anyway, it is very important. That's why I went and I saw Pretoria University, UCT, etc. Not only regarding stricto sensu, the educational field, but also the cultural. I mean, we may have the educational agreement is about to be concluded. It's still going on. So it is very, very important, as I told you, to have mutual cultural exchanges, exhibition. I'm trying my very, very best. Locally, I visited many schools, you know, and I've been to some schools with some needy children, you know, abandoned children, or when they come from some problematic families. It's I forgot the name, Ufupana, I think. Anyway, it's further to the small airport outside Pretoria. It's further down. I forgot the name of the school. I went there. I visited the community. The children actually were very happy to see us. We offered them some stationery that they need in this, like a shelter, you know. It is very, very important. We also went to another primary public school. In our way to Bela, once again, I forgot it, but anyway, we went there. We offered some financial aid to this school, and we show them something related to the environment, and especially our nature. I mean, we planted some citrus there. In a way, it's like Cyprus garden in this school, because I try personally, and my colleagues, to show the children, the pupils, how important is nature, and we have to take care of nature, not with some others, you know. It reminds me of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who said, don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask yourself what you can do for your country. So we told the children, you know, this is very, very important to present to be a conservationist on your own, though you are little children. This is how we plant citrus, lemon tree. This is how we water lemon tree. And from time to time, apart from this school, I went to various schools to offer information and also some publications regarding our culture and history. And I feel good because I always feel very, very welcome, because this is very important, because as Cyprus we took an initiative regarding the youth empowerment as well, because the future is the youth. And it's also very, very important. And also, of course, I went to some places of course, in some other countries as well, apart from South Africa, to project some movies. We projected a movie recently in March at the Alliance Française, the French Institute in Cape Town, and I felt quite honored because also the authorities of UCT participated, And I'm trying also in ad hoc level to promote these relations, because it's very important. And I remember when I entered the ministry in '98, we used to have cultural division in the ministry. Also now, but it's quite different. At that time, it used to be cultural division. And I remember what my director told me: culture is more powerful than politics. And I always bear in mind this.
As you go around sharing all those cultural aspects of Cyprus, what specific things do you want South Africans to discover about Cypriotic culture?
Well, as I told you, there are differences between the two countries historically and geographically, etc. But we have also many things in common, like the hospitality and how we treat people. And allow me, because Ubuntu is a very special word, and I like the spirit of Ubuntu. In our language, we have more or less the same word, which is called philotimo, friend of honor. You have to honor your friends, the people around you, make them feel good in a way. I am because you are. Exactly the same, you see. So this is the most important. This is also an answer to the international problems, No matter if you come from Asia, Europe, Africa, America, etc., you can see more or less that cultures from all around the world promote friendship and brotherly relations. So, about my country, yes, when they go there, of course you have seen South Africa as well, but not in Gauteng. Obviously, I realize that the people, they want to enjoy our beaches, the sea. Especially this time is warm, very warm. Actually, it's hot in Cyprus during June, July, and August, but the people go there to enjoy the Mediterranean Sea, because we are surrounded, we are an island, we are surrounded by sea. But it's not only this, of course. On the contrary, in South Africa, me personally, I enjoy the greenery, In where I live now, it's very arid. So in order to see these trees in Pretoria, you have to go up to the mountains. So when I'm here, I really enjoy my time, the mountains, the rivers, the lakes, the national parks, everything, because I try to promote tourism and South Africans, to encourage them to visit Cyprus, but at the same time I encourage my compatriots to visit South Africa, because you have everything here. I mean, in Cape Town you have sea, here you have mountains, you have national parks and many other things. So when they go to Cyprus, they have to discover also our culture, our cultural heritage. They can visit, there are ruins from ancient Greek Roman temples, ancient temples before Christ, we have fortress during the Middle Ages, and we have also beautiful churches and monasteries, especially, not exclusively, but especially up to the mountains since the 9th or 11th century after Christ, and many archaeological sites are cultural heritage. And of course, well, this is very subjective, but this is my opinion, our cuisine, our gastronomy, which of course is very nice. But above all is the hospitality of our people.
You have sold your country. I so wish I could go there one day. However, I'm interested in finding out what cultural aspects, what tourism aspects of South Africa have you experienced?
Me personally?
Yes.
Allow me to tell you that I'm based in Pretoria and I enjoy every minute, every second of my life here, First of all, the people. Because some people are accusing me to don't go to Joburg. I said I prefer Pretoria. And I apologize for many times to many friends coming from Johannesburg. But, it's beautiful, cultural life. You have cultural life. You have, and I try to convey this message also to Cyprus, because sometimes you have problems, and this is an cultural aspect as well. When you have problems with the robots, then I see all the drivers are very patient. So they expect first the cars from this direction to go, and then from the other direction. I try to convince, many my compatriots that this is very, very important to be patient and wait, especially when they are driving. I visited many museums in South Africa, in Johannesburg. I was very impressed when I visited the Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg. I like the nature, I'm someone that I like peaceful life, Some people complaining of Hadidas, I really enjoy them, especially in the morning. I don't have a clock, the Hadidas are coming and wake me. This is the best, This is the best. Even when my dad came to Pretoria, he was so happy to hear, the voice of these birds. Some people, are asking me, did you go to Kruger Park? Because it's trendy, it's double the size of my country. I've been only once, but I've been also to Riet Dam, which is very close, only 15 minutes by car. Or the other, how do you call the other one, close to Sun City? It's another park there, close to Sun... Bilansberg, yes, I've been to Bilansberg. And it's always, I cannot tell you this is my favorite, place. I went to Gerbeha, I went to East London. Every time you go somewhere, you see so many beautiful things. But the most beautiful, if you allow me. And of course, I like mingle, with local people. I didn't come here to establish only relations with DIRCO or the diplomatic community, but I came here precisely to meet the locals. Otherwise, you cannot take the real taste of the country. The most important is the people. This is the first and above all. This is the most important, to know the people. If you don't know the people, then you are lost. But allow me to tell you also the landscape. When you go to Botswana, because when I go to Lesotho, Swatini, Botswana, I go by car, precisely to... It's better, I think. It's only around 4 hours, and you enjoy the landscape. So after Ziras, I think, after Ziras, all the way to the borders with Botswana, it's so nice. It's very, very beautiful. And also, when you come back from Lesotho, because Maseru is on the borders, so immediately when you cross the borders coming back from Maseru to Lesotho to South Africa, I take the way to Bethlehem. I do think it's the most beautiful landscape I ever seen in my life. From the borders, from Maseru to Bethlehem. Yeah. It's a nice landscape.
You love it.
Very nice, very nice. And of course I admire Robben Island. When my daughter was here, we visited in order to give the youngsters some lessons how freedom matters. It's very, very important, okay, because we are talking about ecumenical, international values of freedom and dignity.
I would have loved to stretch our conversation a little further, but time has really run out. Lastly, High Commissioner, let's talk about the Cypriotic diaspora in South Africa. How big is it, and what role do they play in international relations?
Very important role. And actually, I think it's was probably the most important bridge between the two countries. As I told you, we have also South Africans living in Cyprus, but we also have South African Cypriot origin living in the country, mainly Gauteng, especially in Johannesburg, but not only. We have communities here in Pretoria, in Johannesburg, Germiston, various places in Eastrand, Westrand, Welkom, Bloemfontein, Gerbeha, East London, Rustenburg, George, Durban, Cape Town, and some other. I'm not going to mention. I tried to mention the biggest organized communities. And of course, you are welcome here in Pretoria, where is our community. We also have a restaurant where we can try our delicacies. I'm sure you're gonna love it here. It's very close in opposite Pretoria University, so we can go one day and give you a taste, our culinary taste of Cyprus. So these people, not all of them, but we have them almost 100 years now. They came up between the first and the second war, I mean massively. Maybe they came end of 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, some Cypriot, but more organized, more, if you allow me, massively. They start between the two wars, and also after the Second War, after 1960, after 1974. Some of the, we also, I realize we have the fourth, even fifth generation of South African Cypriot origin here in South Africa. And of course, all these are very active in the food industry, and they own restaurants or supermarkets. And in this way, they also promote in the economic and commercial relations between the two countries, either import various goods from Cyprus or export from South Africa to Cyprus. And of course, we have the our in Johannesburg, based in Johannesburg, we have our Cyprus Brotherhood, if I'm not mistaken, was founded in 1934. Nowadays, the last year is called CASA, C-A-S-A, Cyprus Association of South Africa, or Cypriot Association of South Africa. Yeah, it's a valuable. I mean, it's a very important chapter.
Yeah. High Commissioner, I really appreciate you having made time to come to the studio and speak to us. And I wish you well in your future endeavors. Hopefully, my colleagues and I will make it to this cultural event.
If you allow me, maybe it's my last time here, because after almost 5 years I concluded my mission. I cannot describe my feelings. Living South Africa. Hopefully, I will be back at least as a tourist, because in about few months I'm leaving.
Wow.
So I would like to thank all of you, your colleagues here, our colleagues in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the authorities, and above all, for your cooperation, and above all, the people of South Africa, for your hospitality. And I would like to wish to each and every one of you, and of course to the people of South Africa, all the best, because you deserve the best. And of course, hopefully we're going to see you the coming Thursday, 18th of July, to enjoy together and celebrate the relations between the two countries. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, High Commissioner.
This is Ubuntu Radio.
A product of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, South Africa.